Hey everyone, Positron taking a quick look at Mosaic. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a different video than I normally do. I'm actually using some pre-recorded footage here. And I think it'll let me talk a little bit more about the game and how I feel about it. So this is a game produced by Krillbite Studios. They previously did Among the Sleep. And it was published by Raw Fury. Raw Fury provided me a code. Thank you very much for that, so I can check it out. And this is a narrative adventure game. And the hook that the game gives is that it's a game about urban isolation. And I think that's accurate. And I'll lend my own personal experience that I feel like this is a game about depression. Real cheery. And I think that's really important. So I'm trying to get all my thoughts in here. And it's a short game. So I think that's something that I want to talk about right away. First of all, I think it's a game that is good. I really enjoyed it. I've played through the whole thing. I think it was fantastic. However, it is a very short game. I think it only took me maybe 2.5 hours to play through the whole game. And it's not a cheap game. It's $20. It's on Steam. I believe it might also be on mobile. If not, Blip Blop, which you'll see here in a little bit, is also on mobile. And so it's tough for me. It's a game I want to recommend, but $20 might be a little steep for some people at only, maybe 2.5 hours of gameplay. So I think that's something you need to evaluate before you kind of dive in here. If you think this is your kind of game, but you're not too thrilled about the idea of spending that much for a short experience, maybe hold off for a sale, but then definitely pick it up. However, if you really love deep narrative adventure games, you think this aesthetic, you think this style is going to do it for you, and you're okay with basically spending as much as you would spend to go out to the movies or something for a similar length experience, by all means, go for it. I thought this was awesome. So we're getting just the intro here. This is our character. He plays this character throughout the whole game. And they're living, well, a bit of a bleak existence. And this is a scene you will see throughout the game. Every morning you wake up to your alarm, you go, you wash your face, brush your teeth, or don't. You actually don't have to wash your face, straighten your tie, brush your hair and all that. You can check your messages. Work is continually hounding you about being late. And then you can kind of take a little bit of a walk around your apartment. Now, something that's immediately striking about the game is the art style. The art style is awesome. It's really cool. They did a really fantastic job on this. It really plays into the strengths of the atmosphere and the narrative. So now, most of the game is on rails, and I say that loosely. I don't think you have to interact with everything, but somewhat ironically, there's not that many choices, but sometimes you get these sequences, and I think some of them are optional. So as we click on this, break out of the apartment actually, and are floating in this glorious sunny sky. Much different than everything else that's going on around us. But it was perhaps only a dream. Well, we might as well get to work. You also see, too, there is some sort of hookup here on all of the apartments. Maybe surveillance of some sorts. Let's pass some time while we're waiting for the elevator. We can play Blip Blop. So Blip Blop, I'm not kidding about the name of this, is a mobile app. And it is the epitome of every silly mobile app. The only thing to do is tap for blips. For blops. And as you get more, you can unlock different things. You can blip blomp a little faster. Does it get you anything? No. There's some achievements tied to it, but it's just a time waster. Perhaps maybe a little too realistic. You can level up. There are bonuses for leveling up. There's speed bonuses. If you blip enough, then you'll get blomps faster. You can check your mail on the way out. Didn't hear, but you know, let's walk outside and see what's there for us. So what we find here is that we've made it to work. So this is our job for the Mosaic Corporation. We have tasks. We have to reach these milestones. So this is, I don't know if I want to call it a mini game because it's actually the only core other game within the game here. You have this very light, very, very light little kind of real-time strategy building game where you need to reach the milestone in order to proceed. And you have to utilize these extractors. Now there's very, very light strategy to be had in here. I never found these too difficult. I'm sure you can do them faster or slower. Yeah, so each extractor gives us one little pip generated at a time. You can only have one from each extractor at a time. You can focus them into one area if you want to kind of build up an attack, so to speak. And the diagonal dash lines there are impassable areas. We can't go by there. Sometimes there are things that come in as well. There might be other objects floating about. Not going to spoil what those are, but they can be interacted with. You get some abilities as well as you go further up. Again, very lightly, you get the ability to build a little faster and things like that. And the ultimate goal at the end of each session is that we want to reach this milestone and fill up the bars here. Now there's a little bit of decay, so again, this is a good time, maybe you want to condense all your little blips or whatever, but we can deliver the milestone. We've completed our task. Yesterday there was one, and tomorrow there's another one. Perpetually. Forever. It really never ends. Well, it eventually will, but not in the way we want to. So again, this is a very heady, atmospheric game. I think it's really important, again, to emphasize that for me, this was definitely a game that felt like some of the stuff I've personally experienced with depression. Sometimes the imagery is almost a little too on the nose. There he's, it seems like he's drowning in this endless sea. It kind of hits you on the head a little bit with some of it. Some of it's a bit more subtle. One thing that I have noticed is that, you see on the second day that when we go around the apartment here on the second day, his apartment's a little more disheveled, which I think we've all been there at some point or another. And we'll head in to the bathroom, and sometimes things are a little different, though. There's a lot of surreal things that will occur throughout the course of our time. Doesn't seem we're even going to bother to straighten our hair or fix our tie or anything today. Just stare into the mirror. But when we do, we might see something a little different. The soundtrack is fantastic too. Just the really, really oppressive music fits really well with the whole experience. What is in the sink? There's goldfish there. A little odd. He asks if we've slept well. Not really. I guess that's become the norm. Why do you drag yourself out of bed every morning? I mean, gotta make a living, right? Looks to be another gray day with a chance of rain. The goldfish wants to ask us something, though. We haven't really made any friends, and well, there's work again telling us that if we're late, we're gonna be fired. Well, the fish says that they could go with us, or we could toss them. Yeah, you can hang out in my pocket, little buddy. Seems like there's a bunch of bills piling up on our table there. There are a couple of things we can do in the apartment as well. We can sit down, we can watch TV. And sometimes you find loose change on the couch as well, which is curious. I'm not entirely sure if that has any effect on anything in the game, because you can choose whether or not to pick up the change as well. There's something going on over here. So periodically we find these as well, these electric boxes, and we're drawn to them. We're drawn to messing with them. Initialize feed. New extraction cycle, huh? Maybe we were dreaming that as well. But every so often we get the ability to go inspect and tamper with these boxes. No, there's the same two folks we always see on the elevator. Yeah, they don't want to be involved with us. I mean, really, we kind of look like crap. Didn't really slept in our clothes. Didn't even straighten our tie. We'll just go back to blip-plopping. Could buy an upgrade. Now we get an extra blip every time. I will say, by the end of the game, I did blip myself to like level 40 or something. I don't know why. It's the frenzy bonus. Get 35% extra blops. There's actually a 70% bonus too if you go even further. So I'm going to show, I think, some of the next sequence, finish up my thoughts on the game, and then probably play a little bit of a clip at the end, some of the highlights that I have available. So this time when we walk outside, every time we walk outside we get more of the journey to work. So this time we're actually going to go outside. We're going to see, you know, how that walk takes us. We don't drive. We just walk. They do want to watch out for, yeah, those other cars. They won't run us over from the parking lot. They will honk at you. You just stand there. what's that? Ah, a butterfly. So this is another example of a point where this game will either jive with some people or it won't. This is a pretty extensive sequence where you control the butterfly as it goes through this bit of a wasteland. So while this is going, I'll wrap up my thoughts, and then I'll have a little bit of extra clip footage at the end of the video, just to show off a couple of the scenarios and such. Again, I don't want to show too much, it is a pretty short game. And once again, you know, I feel very positive about the game. I think it speaks to a lot of issues that people have, more common things: burnout, depression, loneliness. And it's up to you to decide, you know, is it worth picking up at full price for you? If it's not, I think part of the message here is don't feel bad about that. And if it is, I can recommend it. But know what you're getting into. So that'll do it for me. I'll fade this out. If you like the video, click like. It helps a bunch. Subscribe for more stuff like this. And, well, see you soon.